Chapter 35. About spiritual sight and hearing. 24th July, 1840. Behold, I have still many mysteries behind my back, and many a word in my holy chest, full of life and full of power, full of love, full of mercy, and full of grace, of which you have never known. And why would say, what I do not know does not make me passionate? Oh yes, that is quite right, and such a remark could be applied quite well to worldly knowledge, but not to my great grace, in which infinity is present for all eternities of eternities, for your ever-increasing and growing welfare in the hidden depths. Oh friends, believe me that it is I who am telling you all this. And believe, as one eternity after another passes away, that you will still have to say, is there not such a small number, even in the most fragmented power, according to which we would be able to bring our knowledge to God in any possible relationship? And there will be a voice from your breast answering you, and this voice will come from my heart and will say, there is no such number. Always and forever, you are nothing in all your wisdom, but I am all in all, and you can be everything in and through me, but in and through yourselves, eternally nothing. See, therefore, I still have many things to say to you, which I myself withheld from the apostles, since they would not have been able to endure it, because they were only temporary fruits, ripened by my necessary visible presence. But since you love and believe without me being visible, you are also able to endure greater things. And so you shall now again experience something that will make your mind inexpressibly perplexed and amazed. Therefore, take note of what I am going to tell you here in a moment, and embrace it deep in your heart. Look, everything that you have ever thought and dreamed, now think and dream, and will still think and dream into all future, will not be lost forever. Just as it happened in you, just in this way you will find it once again, true to its essence, and immediately recognize it as yours, and rejoice or grieve over it. This has been necessary to touch upon in order to bring the future closer to your understanding. For he who does not know and see that in him the whole creation circles, lives, and interconnects, cannot grasp the reason for his urges, desires, and thoughts. See, in your spirit the whole of infinity lies essentially buried, and every single one of them is infinite. That is why you can think of a countless number of earths, suns, trees, animals, people, etc., side by side. That is, you can multiply one and the same phenomenon, earth, sun, tree, animal, human being, etc., infinitely. For if it were not so, you would soon be finished with your thinking. And this happens in the following way to make it quite clear to you. Namely, if you were to place two very bright mirrors over against each other, one would be completely reflected in the other. This image was then reflected in the first one, and this reflection then again in the image of the second one, and thus always mutually A in B and B in A. And this, of course, always in this way. Just the same with you. Your soul is such a mirror to the outside world, and your spirit is such a mirror to the inner spirit world. That is why it then also comes that everything and every individual is infinitely present in you, and therefore also with the spirit, the rapid presence of what he has thought and wanted. Now you know that the more finely polished any mirror is, the purer the image becomes. If you now polish your soul properly through humility, so that it becomes a completely level surface, by removing any excess, then you will soon begin to see miraculous things in you, namely through the soul, the outer forms, and through the spirit out of me, which is a soul of the spirit, the full content of every object. And I will set an example. If you think of a stone or a tree, an animal or whatever, you will first see its outer form. But then the light of the Spirit will pour into the soul and will illuminate this image through and through. And so you will then be able to see such a thing through and through. Then, when the soul mirror becomes illuminated by the light of the Spirit, the inner forms will begin to reflect themselves in the soul, and thereby also become visible to your mind, as if you see them with the eyes of the body. And then when you wanted to talk to one of these things, then my Spirit will be in you, from which everything, from the greatest to the smallest, are nothing but fixed thoughts, will enter into the imagined thing and speak out of it from the primordial foundation. See, there now lies revealed before your eyes, ears, and hearts, how once Adam and Abel and many others were able to speak to all of creation, and in what ways you too could make contact with the spirit world if you so desire. Therefore, you should also first polish your soul, so that you would be able to do all this. For there is still much that bears witness to me. But you are still too foolish and senseless to note my name in creation. Therefore, grind, smooth, and polish diligently on your soul, so you will soon look at the world with completely different eyes, and never in eternity reach the end of my miracles. A good scribe, however, will soon give my servant a rock or any other natural object, when the time and opportunity is right, and I will give the same speech in my servant. And the scribe is to record what has been made known, and to clarify as a good testimony of this my word. For you see, there is no space and time, but it all depends how your life is apart from both, space and time, that is, in eternal existence. With the eyes of the flesh you perceive things outside of yourself, with the eyes of the soul within you, and with the eyes of the Spirit you see from the center of things, and so also your own being. But it is only by the entry of my Spirit that all things become capable of speaking and alive through and through. See, I, your Holy Father, show you many things. Therefore, be diligent in love, so that my grace does not remain absent. Amen.